નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. સ્ટેન્ડર્ડ 9th, સબ્જેક્ટ સાયન્સ, ચેપ્ટર 2nd, is matter around us pure? Dear students, today we will discuss what are the types of pure substances. So you know that pure substances, you have studied matter. You know that matters are divided into two classes: pure substances and mixtures. These pure substances are again classified as elements and compounds. Okay? Today we will learn element and as well as compound also. First of all, we will go through the elements. Okay, dear students, Robert Boyle was the first scientist. Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. Okay, then further, Antoine Laurent Lavoisier, a French chemist, was the first to establish an experimentally useful definition of the element. Lavoisier, given the first scientist, French scientist, given the definition of the element. Okay, got the students' ideas? Dear students, okay. However, next one. So, what is element? What do you mean by element? Elements are it is a similar kind of the atom. Okay, a substance which is made up of same kind of atoms. So that is an element. Okay, elements are normally divided into metals, non-metals and metalloids. So again, elements are classified as in three groups: metals, non-metals and metalloids. So dear students, now we will discuss about the metals properties. So they have luster, the shining appearance. They have luster, shining appearance. And second one, they have silvery grey or golden yellow color. They are usually silvery grey or golden yellow color. Third one, they conduct heat and electricity. So these metals are passing the heat as well as electricity also. They are ductile. You know that they are ductile. Ductile means that can be drawn into wires. They are malleable. Malleable means can be made into thin sheets. They are sonorous. Sonorous means they produce ringing sound. Okay, these are the properties of metals. Okay, students. Now, what are the examples of metals? What are the examples? Gold, copper, silver, iron, sodium, then potassium. So these are all the examples of copper. So these are the examples of metals. Gold, copper, silver, iron, sodium, potassium, even still many. Okay, like this. Still many are there. So these are all, what you are saying? Metals examples. Okay, what is the idea now? But here, one exceptional is there. It's usually The metals are usually solids. except mercury is the only metal that is a liquid at room temperature. See, mercury is the only metal which is a liquid at the room temperature. Okay, students? Now, we will see non-metals properties. Already you know that what do you mean by metals and non-metals. Okay, now you see the non-metals properties. They display a variety of colors. The display means they shows the variety of colors. Second properties, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. See, if you are passing heat or electricity, that does not flow, or that is why you are a poor conductor. Now, the next property is they are not lustrous, they are not shining, they are not lustrous, sonorous, not producing sound, malleable, cannot be made into thin sheets. Okay, these are all the properties of non-metals. Now, what are the examples of non-metals? The examples like hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, carbon, bromine, chlorine. So, these are all the examples of non-metals. Now, dear students, so now we will go for what is metalloids. What do you mean by the metalloids? See, some elements have intermediate properties between those of metals and non-metals. See, some of the elements shows the properties of some extent of the properties of metals as well as non-metals. They show both the character. So that is why metalloids are called as borderline elements. Borderline elements. Okay. So example, boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium. So for you all that much is not required. But for your book is given boron, silicon and germanium. At least remember these three. So these are very important also. Asking questions. What do you mean by metalloids? The examples, at least given in the textbook, that much you have to read. Okay, students? Now, so this much is about the metalloids. Now here some of the remembering points will be there. Always you have to remember. What do you have to remember? See, the number of elements known at present are more than 100. So far, more than 100 elements are known to us. The next one, out of that, 92 elements are naturally formed, naturally occurring, and the rest are man-made. See, try to understand. More than 100 elements are known to us. Out of that, 92 elements are naturally getting, but remaining will be the artificial or man-made. So 2 elements, out of that, 11 elements are in the gaseous state. So 11 elements are found in the gaseous state at room temperature. So as usual, the room temperature. Now next one, 2 elements are liquid at the room temperatures. 2 elements found liquids at room temperature, that is mercury and bromine. Say mercury is a metal example, is a liquid example of metals it comes. Bromine is a liquid example of non-metal it comes. See, these two are elements are found in the liquid form. Okay, next one more important point is elements like gallium and cesium. See, gallium, Gallium. Elements like gallium is Gallium, gallium and cesium and cesium. these two elements like helium and cesium, become liquid. See, if these two elements become liquid at a temperature slightly above the room temperature, because its melting and boiling points are low. If the temperature goes a little bit higher and the room temperature is a little higher, then these two elements become liquid. Okay, students? So these are the points you have to remember. Okay. Dear students, now we discuss compound. So what is compound? A compound is a substance composed of two or more elements chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. So this is a compound. See, a compound is a substance that is composed of two or more elements chemically combined, not physically, chemically it is combined with one another in a fixed proportion. For example, we'll see, for example, water. See, look here now, water. Here, its chemical formula is H2O. See, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen will be there. So that is a water. So that's why you are writing H2O. Okay, I will take one more compound, H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. See, this is a liquid and this one is gaseous, hydrogen peroxide. There are two atoms of hydrogen and two atoms of oxygen. See, hydrogen and oxygen will be there, but here according to the atoms wise, so this characters or properties will be changing of water and hydrogen peroxides. So, that is why chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. So that is called as a compound. Okay, now the next question is here, what do we get when two or more elements are combined? See, when two or more elements are combined, what you will do? What you will get? Okay, here the activity is given to you. Okay, just we will go through the activities. See, what is given the activity? Divide the class into two groups. Okay, in class strength, okay, either it may be 40, 30. Make it into two groups. Okay, group first is given mix. Group, what is given group first? Mix. And see, here what is given to you? Divide the class into two groups. Okay, group 1 and group 2 we have done here. Group 1 and group 2. And give 5 grams of iron filings. Say 5 grams of iron filings. Iron pieces, iron filings. And then 3 grams of sulfur. 3 plus 3. Okay, then what will give? 3 grams of sulfur. 3 grams of sulfur. Okay. 3 grams of sulfur powder. Sulfur powder is given. So what is given? 5 grams of iron filings and 3 grams of sulfur powder in a china dish. So you have to take in a china dish. So like this vessels. So china dish you have to take. So this one is a strong vessel. When you will eat, it will not wax. So china dish. Okay. And to both the groups you have to give like this. Now the group 1, mix and crush iron filings and sulfur powder. So group 1, what they have to do? Mix and crush the iron filings. Mix and crush iron filings and 3 grams of sulfur powder. Only they have to mix it. Group 1, what they have to do? One is given iron filings and sulfur, they have to mix. Okay, group 1 work is over. Now what about group 2, what they have to do? Group 2, mix and crush iron filings and sulfur. They have to mix it and heat the mixture till red hot. So they have to heat it till red hot. Okay, this is the group second. Okay, dear students, what will observe this one? Okay, now you see the group one and group second. What you have to do? What you have to going for observation? Check for magnetism. So both you have to go for magnetism checking. You know that iron filings will be there, that will attract the magnet. And next what you have to check, compare the texture and color. Texture, definite patterns will be there. Texture and as well as color you have to observe. The next one what you have to do, you have to go for carbon sulfide, you have to add. Carbon sulfide you have to add. The next one what you have to do, dilute sulfuric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid you have to add. So like this observation by adding this all you have to do. Okay, next finally what still one more is there, you have to go for this, both the elements perform this, the material obtained. Okay, now add dilute and other parts of this material. And next, all the above steps with both the elements iron and sulfur separately you have to do the activities. So like this observations will be there. So dear students, after doing this all, what the questions are asked? Did the material obtained by the two groups look the same? Asked. Say what the materials you got it. The look similar. And second question, which group has obtained a material with magnetic properties? You know that iron. And third one, can we separate the components of the material obtained? Can you separate it? The fourth one, on adding dilute sulfuric acid or dilute hydrochloric acid, did both the groups obtain a same gas? Ask the question. Or did the gas in both the cases smell the same or different? So these are the questions are asked on the basis of this activity. Now what is the answer of this all? See, the gas obtained in the group first. The group first is what? You have mixture of the iron and sulfur. So what is that in the group first? Iron and sulfur will be there. When you added this acid to them, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid to them, so you will get the gases. See, if the group one is hydrogen, it is colorless. The gas obtained by the group one. Here what is, or you added the acid to them, the hydrogen gas will be produced. So this hydrogen gas is colorless, odorless, smellless, and combustible, the burning. So okay, the gas obtained by the group second is, okay, when you added the acid to them, so that is a, you know that is a compound, that is not a mixture. Because there iron sulfide will be there, because you have heated iron and sulfur, you got a compound there. Okay, so when you added the acid to them, the gas obtained by the group second is hydrogen sulfide, you got it. What is the gas is produced there? Hydrogen sulfide. It is a colorless gas, but the smell of rotten eggs, smell will be rotten eggs, you know, eggs when it will be stale eggs. So this way, you got the different observation. So dear students, you must have observed that the products obtained by both the groups shows different properties. Both the different properties. Group 1 has carried out actually involving the physical change. Yes, that is a mixture, physical change. Whereas in the group second, it shows the chemical change. So, the material obtained by the group 1 is a mixture of two substances, that is iron and sulfur. Second, the properties of the mixtures are as the same of its constituents. Same of its constituents. The material obtained by the group second is a compound. Material obtained by the group second one is a compound. On heating the two elements strongly, we get a compound. So when you are heating the two elements strongly, then you got the compound which has totally different properties compared to the combining elements. See, what you added the element, that properties and the compound properties, if you compare, then both the properties are different. Okay. So these are the composition and compound. The composition of the compound is same throughout. The composition is same throughout. You can also observe the texture and color of the compound are same throughout. So these are the observation in the compound. Okay. Okay now. So go through these activities, and today we have completed what are the types of pure substances. In that, elements, compounds, metalloids. Okay. So these are the headings we have completed. Okay, dear students, this lesson is over. Go through it and read it well. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining us.